everyone. It's so good to see you. I have a story I'd like to read to you today, and you all know who this is, don't you? That's right, that's Pete the Cat. And the name of my story is Pete the Cat and his four groovy buttons. Those are buttons. Do you remember who writes the words to the story? That's right, the author. The author is Eric Litwin. And do you remember who draws the pretty pictures to the story? That's right, James Dean. Is this the front of our book or the back of the book? You got it. It's the front of the book. How about this? Front or back of the book? That's right. You know, it's the back of the book. And this is the tricky one. What do we call this part of the book? The spine? Uh-huh, that's right. And what does the spine do? You got that. The spine holds all the pages. So before I begin my story, Pete the Cat and his four groovy buttons, you know what we have to do? I have to wiggle my fingers. I have to wiggle my nose. I have to wiggle my shoulders. I have to wiggle my toes. And all those wiggles are out of me. And I can sit as quiet as can be. Okay, Pete the Cat and his four groovy buttons. Here are all those buttons. Look at them. Okay. Again, Pete the Cat and his four groovy buttons. Pete the Cat put on his favorite shirt with four big, colorful, round, groovy buttons. He loved his buttons so much, he used to sing a song. See the number? That's number 4. Let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's sing that song. My buttons, my four groovy buttons. My buttons, my four groovy buttons. Pop! Oh no! One of the buttons popped off and rolled away. How many buttons are left? How many do you think are left? Let's see. That's right, 3. 4 buttons minus 1 equals 3 buttons. 1, 2, 3. 3 groovy buttons. Did Pete cry? Goodness, no. Buttons come and buttons go. He kept singing his song. My buttons, my 3 groovy buttons, my 3 groovy buttons. Oh no! Pop! Another button popped off and rolled away. How many buttons are left? How many do you think are left? What number is that? 2. 3 buttons minus 1 equals 2. Did Pete cry? Goodness, no. Buttons come and buttons go. He kept on singing his song. My buttons, my 2 groovy buttons. My 2 groovy buttons. Let's see what happens next. Pop! Oh no! Another button popped off and rolled away. How many buttons are left? How many do you think are left? 1. 1 button. 2 buttons minus 1 equals 1. Did Pete cry? Goodness, no. Buttons come and buttons go. He kept on singing his favorite song. My buttons, my 1 groovy button. My 1 groovy button. Oh no! Pop! The last button popped off and rolled away. How many buttons are left? How many do you think are left? I know you know. 0, because 1 minus 1 equals 0. Did Pete cry? Goodness, no. Buttons come and buttons go. Pete looked down at his buttonless shirt. What do you think he saw? what do you think he saw? His belly button! And he kept on singing his song. Because it's all good. My button, still have my belly button. My button, still have my belly button. I guess it simply goes to show that stuff will come and stuff will go. But do we cry? Goodness, no. We just keep on singing. Buttons come and buttons go. The end. I hope you like that story. I picked it because it's a lot of fun. And I'll see you next time for another story. Bye-bye.